And for you guys that are going to be seeing this in the stream on Facebook, one of my guys, Sam or Ahmad, will A, tag you guys that said you wanted to be on this Zoom with the Zoom link. And then two, hashtag live, hashtag replay. You know the drill. We want to reach more people inside of the group. Today's going to be a topic we've got covered a lot on Savage Saturdays. I want to go over it again. I want to make it super precise. This is one you may want to get your pen and paper out to take some notes. I'm going to be going a little bit fast today. Okay. So as we go through, if you do have questions, drop them in the Facebook thread. I know you guys are all on Zoom. You can drop it there, but I'm going to be responding to anything that's a longer answer on videos. So just ask those questions inside the Facebook thread and just tag me in our free GSD 7-figure group. Okay. Like I want to keep this super simple. There's going to be before we streamed, I said there's two ways to get clients. One is you're going to be in person. The other way is not in person. Okay. We're going to keep it super simple. Now that we know the two ways that you're going to be presenting this, now it's just a matter of the presentation. And then before the presentation is how are you going to get people to the presentation? Because you guys can have a dope presentation and whatnot, but if nobody sees it, what's going to happen? You're not going to have a swing at the bat. And then when you don't have a swing at the bat, you don't have an opportunity to even get the client. So some of the ways that we're going to go over, we'll start off with prospecting. Are you guys cool with just starting right into it on prospecting? Okay, cool. Now there's cold and then there's outbound and inbound. We're going to keep everything like a binary path. Okay, as simple as humanly possible, just like with traffic, organic and paid, outbound and inbound. So when we're getting the leads, now the first stage is when you have nobody coming to you, nobody knows your name, nobody knows nothing about you. Like, do content like crazy. There's some really shitty people out there. And I'm sorry if that's you, but like not you guys specifically here, but there's some people that aren't very good at what they do. They're just very good at doing the things to get in front of people. They're taking those necessary actions. They're getting those opportunities, those swings at the bat. So it's really important. So you don't necessarily have to have the best product and service in the world initially. You'll level it up so it gets there. So it's a really good level of service because you don't want to be a turn and burn agency. You want to be a high quality agency. The easiest way to do that is simplify the offering up front. A lot of people that start an agency, what I see them doing is they're going to be SEO people. They're going to be PPC people. They're going to be web designers, but they don't do that skill. And then it's just going to be difficult. Now with SaaS, and I'm not saying that this is the number one thing to do in the world. I just think this is the simplest shit to fucking sell. This Go High Level built the whole entire product suite for everybody where it's already done. So there's not really a lot of skill you need in terms of tech. In fact, you don't even need any tech skill whatsoever. You need button pushing skill. That's how simple this has become. Now that we know that we have the confidence in the product and we're button pushers because we're not going to go crazy and do absolutely everything imaginable like the guys who have been using this for 5 years. We're going to go with the suite of 3 products and services with a couple anchor services on top of it. So we're going to have we'll call those bolt-ons. So here's your 3 core: missed call text backs, database reactivations, and then online reviews / reputation management. That's the 3-pack. Then our bolt-ons are just going to be, or our little stack-ons are going to be like a little text widget, something super duper simple. That's really it. If you wanted to add another bolt-on, you can use a social planner. Keep things really, really simple within the context of your skill set where you can stay a button pusher, but at the same time, you can deliver a product and a service that's going to make your customers a lot of money. The coolest part about what this right now has is that the business owners out there, a lot of them are older. They're generational, right? They're either second generation, first generation, but they're getting into their mid 40s to late 70s, but they're still operating. They're still running their business. That age range is such a beautiful age range because they all went to college. They're not accustomed to being on internet masterminds like we are, like marketers, where we breed this stuff. Like a plumber, I will real rarely see in a marketing like webinar. An HVAC guy you'll rarely see on a marketing webinar. So you guys have such a clear advantage because they don't know this stuff. Their parents didn't know it. The college professors didn't know it. And everything they've learned up until now don't know it. Don't teach it. So now you're coming in and you're not selling them new widgets. You're selling them the ability to monetize things they already have. Right. So imagine they're like a car, and the car is low on oil. The steering wheel's veering off to the left a little bit. It still fucking works. It's just not very smart or very safe. And now you guys are those people that can fix those things within their business. And those are simple offers. Okay. So going back to the prospecting side, the fastest, easiest way to prospect is, in my personal opinion, is start off in a niche, regardless of what anybody else says. I know it's a nicheless product and service where you can actually just go local business shopping and saying, hey, I'm going to sell this to every single human that walks and breathes. But then you got to go do it, right? You got to actually, those ideas when you're walking down, and we all have them. I have them all the time, and I don't do anything about it sometimes. Sometimes I do. But I see the strip malls. I'm like, fuck, if I just walked in every single one of those, these sons of bitches will love me. They're going to need this shit. Do you know how much money I'm going to make them? But then I don't do it. So then there's the dream gone, right? But then when you're comfortable, and when I say like uncomfort is where you want to be, but when you're comfortable, that means you mastered a niche. Like for me, it was real estate. We sold hundreds of these things. And in my previous, that was previous to Go High Level, we sold over 40,000 real estate agents just selling them one simple product and service. And we refused in the beginning to sell it to anybody else, even though it was the same product and service. It's because we just knew the business so well. We knew how to sell it. We knew the objections. We knew when they're driving. We knew everything about them. We knew how much money they made, how much money they spent, what their bottlenecks were, everything. We knew more about the realtor that we never met in our lives than they probably did about their own business. And we haven't even met them yet. That's how much in tune we anticipated into understanding our niche. That's why I think it's so, so important. And then finding the leads and finding the prospects is such an easy thing to do today, because if you just use the Facebook search bar, just like a Google search bar, you'll find your audience. Luxury real estate agents, Keller Williams real estate agents, dentists in California, liquor store association. Like you'll find every single thing on that little fucking search bar, period. Super easy. And that's just one platform. Now, if you use that same model and just went after it on other platforms, LinkedIn, Instagram, heck, I haven't used Threads very much, but Threads probably has something. Imad and Samar just watched the waiting room. Okay. So you have all the prospects in there, right? So now that's where I say pick a niche. It's a hard thing to do, because in your mind, you're probably thinking, well, I can serve anybody. Right. But like, how has that served you though? Has that got you where you want to go? And how many years has that been? But if you're known as a specialist, you're going to get tagged by strangers. You're going to be known in groups as the go-to person. You just have to give it a little bit of time and effort. And by a little bit of time and effort, I mean, like some of you guys want to make 30 grand in 30 days, but that goal has been going on for 3 years. I hear that all the fucking time. How quickly can I make 30 grand? Right? That's just a meaningless question. It's the stupidest question on the fucking planet, period. Because it just takes time. Why is our goal just 30? Our goal should be creating a really badass foundation, putting in that work, because if we chase something that we can't reach in an unrealistic time expectation, we're already destined to fail. It's kind of like if I went to the gym and I said, hey, dude, I'm 50 pounds overweight. How quick can I get a six pack? Can you do it in 60 days or not? Trainers should probably say, you're out of your fucking mind. It's going to take you a year, and it takes 2 to tango, you and me. You follow my lead and you do your shit when I'm not in the room. Right. So that's kind of where we have to kind of extend our time frame, but at the same time, have a fire lit under our ass where what are we going to do with the next minute, the next hour, the next day? We don't want to burn a day. It's so important that we can't get caught up in paralysis analysis or even shiny objects, because you're going to see a lot of shiny objects coming out. AI is hot. Threads is hot. Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg are fighting. There's just so much stuff that has nothing to do with you guys, that why do you put any kind of like brain like traction towards, right? The number one tunnel vision, like a horse going around a race. That's what you have to be. It's just so fucking focused on being good at one thing, and you guys will make more money than you've ever made in your entire lives. But it takes that intense focus, and it takes a lot of practice. It's so easy to get distracted. There's so many things we can do every day. But going back, the niche, that's super important, because then you can find your audience really quick. You can go to D7 Finder. You can go to Axiom Data. You can buy these lists. Now that we have the list, now it's a matter of outreach, because we're now going to talk about outbound. Outbound is going to be DMing. It's going to be connecting through comments. It's going to be connecting through groups. It's going to be connecting through emails and then phone calls. Now, has anybody ever got a cold call that they didn't appreciate and they just didn't want to talk to, and it just said, hey, and there was friction and there was resistance, and you're like, it was almost like a fuck you type thing, right? That's how you know those cold calls suck. So now when we enter a conversation, and we're going to get hung up on, don't mind you, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Don't let one instance ruin the entire day. I've gotten hung up on, I didn't count, but it's a lot. At least when I was cold calling, at least like 5-10 times a day. And I just looked at it as, if I'm not getting hung up on, I'm not doing my job right. It was a goal. I need to get enough hangups. Someone's not going to be happy, even if I feel like I'm charming. It's just the name of the game. It's not a numbers game. It's going to be a quality game. But at first, we start off with the numbers. We got to get our numbers high. And I got lucky, or whatever happened, whatever you want to call it, luck, preparation, opportunity, all combined. The company that I worked for was strict. And when I took that strictness and took it into my own business when I first started it, because I had to make $100 a day, 70 or $75, 4 hours phone time, and $2,000 in cold call sales per day, quota of $30,000 a month. That was our goal every single month, and it didn't change. And our predominant income was based off commissions. Since you guys are agency owners, you guys are all commission based anyways, right? Whatever you close, you keep your profits, right? And then you pay your taxes afterwards or invest it. So that was the model that I took, is that we had a goal, 75 dials. At first, that was painful. Hitting 30 dials in a day in the first week, and your manager down your back. So I had to create a manager on my back when I started. That's what I want you guys to create, is that accountability, self-accountability. If you don't have anybody guiding you, you're not in a mastermind, you're not in a group, you're doing it all by yourself, it's going to be hard, but it can be done. For the most, it won't get done right, because you'll be leading yourselves. But for anybody who has accountability, find a partner, join a mastermind, invest in it. It's going to pay off more than you think. Otherwise, you'll be in the same place next year. That's how important it is to have guidance. Kind of like if Kobe Bryant didn't have a trainer, we wouldn't even probably know who the fuck he is. But anyways, 75 dials, 4 hours phone time. Those are the metrics. It was from a publicly traded company. They're the biggest and the baddest company in the world for real estate, period. Largest. They're partnered with the National Association of Realtors. So what they said, we believe to be true. And in fact, I believed it so to be true that it was a numbers and quality game combined. The more contacts we made, the better our skills got sharpened, the more creative, the more anticipation, the more we learned the market, and the more we knew our product, the more potent and weaponized we became. Now, then there was the opposite people that worked at that company. There was the people that just skated by, just like they were just under the radar to not be fired. So then those guys are the average. And then there was the below average who nobody really knew their name, because they'd cycle in, cycle out after 90 days. There was high turnover because a lot of people just didn't do the work. It wasn't that the company didn't have a good product. We're backed by the National Association of Realtors. If I say realtor.com to any realtor, they're going to know what it is, whether they like them or not. That's a different story, right? But my point being is, we're backed by a name brand. We all had the same products. We all had the same scripts. We all had the same quotas. We all had, not equal opportunity. Some people had richer realtors to work with, but the point is, it was the same thing for all of us. And that's what we have here with GHL. Can you mute whoever that is out? I
just saw that shit.
All right, Miss Cynthia, you're muted. Okay. So my point being is, we all have GHL. We all have the same products. Heck, we can all have the same target audience and the same pricing. Somebody's going to sell more than the other. And I think the reason why that somebody's going to sell more than the other is because they're putting in all the repetitions, all the work, improving their skill set versus just hoping, praying, wishing, and then wondering why the fuck nothing's happening. Okay. So we got to put those outreaches out, cold emailing, cold calling, DMing, commenting, and then make sure that you're finding that rapport. Rapport building is such an important part. I'll do a session on rapport building with you guys at some point. I want to go over like the stages and steps, because this stage right here is the most important, because if you don't have fucking traffic, it doesn't matter. You might as well just cancel your GHL account, because you're not going to sell anything if you don't get in front of them. You'll just have a bill. This thing is supposed to be a profit center, not a cost center. Anytime you invest into improving your GHL, like templates, funnels, all that stuff, it should be making you more money. It should be you should be making more mousetraps to get more leads. So now I'm going to flip over to inbound. The fastest way to get inbound is, like, if I looked at all your profiles, are you guys posting enough content to allow yourselves to be known as the GHL expert or the SaaS expert or the marketing expert, whatever it is you do, the real estate niche marketing guru, the Chamber of Commerce's marketing gurus? Like, are you guys posting enough content so that when people look you up or you reach out to them and they look at your profile, they're intrigued? They may do a little bit of a scroll on you. Then they may like a post, right? You're indoctrinating them into you. Right. So it's value, 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 close, value, 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 close. Right. That's how we're going to develop that relationship. We're going to treat it like a dating model, except sometimes these dates can go very, very fast. You can fall in love really quickly in this. Because the cool part about GHL, there's the 4 things that I've mentioned that are important to everybody's lives. 2 of them are saving, 2 of them are making, right? Save time, save money, make time, make money. Who doesn't want that? That's what you do. What I help people do, I help business owners save time, save money, also make time and make money. I mean, that's all. A lot of, like, if you want to get a little fun, that's all you have to say when somebody asks what you do. That could be a different variation of a elevator pitch. Then naturally, the next thing is going to be, how do you do it? Now, if you're fun, you're approachable, your body language is cool, you're smiling, like those little nuances, right? Then people are going to be intrigued by you. So it takes a little bit of practice. You can be an introvert, you can be an extrovert. It doesn't matter what you label yourself as, because you're neither one of those. You're just the same. You're just a person. There's no either or. It's just, you got to learn how to talk if you're going to be an entrepreneur. Because, yeah, I mean, there's no excuse. There's literally none. There's no past. There's no history. It's all about the future. What are we going to do now to change the way we are so we can be better at what we do? And it's just those little steps. Little steps go such a far way. Because, like, you guys won't believe me, but I mean, I can get my mom on a Zoom one day, but fuck, as a like senior in high school, I didn't even like ordering my own McDonald's. I was so fucking shy. The only place I talked was on a soccer field. So for me to be in sales is not a natural, it's not a gift, it's not anything, or presenting or doing Zooms. This would be the scariest thing on the fucking planet. I failed speech class because I didn't like to speak. It was a bad class to take. I remember my first speech was how to do a beer bong. that was literally it. So I wasn't very good at anything. I was only good at like running pretty much and playing soccer. But now it's a talent, it's a skill, but it's a skill that anybody can be good at. Anybody can put reps in, anybody can practice and rehearse. Time is not the issue. The more reps you put in, the better you should become. Kind of like Kobe Bryant talks about when he goes to the gym. He's like, most people go to the gym between 9 and 10, take a break, then they go back between 12 and 1, take a break, go back and blah, blah, blah. They have a third session. So that's what professional athletes are doing. And he's like, well, what if I can get in there between 4 and 6? I've already got 2 more hours in. Then I go to the same practice they go to, take a break, same practice they go to, take a break, same practice they go to, take a break, and do 1 more practice. I've got 3 more hours every single day. Think about how far you're going to expand your skill set, your gap of where people are today on this Zoom right now. There's going to be people that are going to take this advice and people who are not. But the people who just say, today, I'm going to just open the gap between all of you and compete against all of you, even though I don't know who you guys are, But if you put those extra 3 hours in or 2 hours in and understanding this product, how to present, how to get in front of people, just your think time and strategize for the next 5-10 years, think about how much further you'll be. Because it's definitely not going to get easier. Because I can tell you that doing this for 20 years, if you like, you get burned out along the way a little bit. You take a little bit of a break. Like when I say a little bit, couple hours, go to the gym, maybe a day, maybe even a weekend or a week, but nothing significant because nothing happened to you. It's just reframing yourself so that everything works best for you. And that's the most important part, is just keep going. Let me just look in the chat. GHL is going 200K isolating niche experience and repair. We're just coming in backwards as we don't have GHL in our. I don't know what that means. I'll ask that question to Chris later. Okay, cool. So putting in the reps to understand it, because I'm leaning into the people who are under 10 accounts per month. The same can be true if you have above 10 and you have a team that you want them to take over, to give them and equip them with the skills and success that you guys already have, because it's super important. It's only gonna get simpler the more reps you put in. Now, in terms of the content, that's helped significantly. And there's AI tools that can write your script, impose your voice, move your photo. You can even do faceless stuff. Like if you're not doing videos and you're not doing content, use AI. It's better if you guys do it, because of a lot of the target audiences, their age, they want to have a human connection. It creates proximity. Like when I say proximity, a lot of people say power and proximity, like meaning I want to work with a local agency. I want to be able to meet them. People can meet you virtually, right? I mean, it feels so comfortable saying like, I want to work with like the local lender. I've worked with a local lender that I never fucking met. He's about 18 miles away from me. It's so easy to go there, but I don't give a shit. I don't want to, like, I actually don't want to meet him. I'd rather just do it on the phone. I'm busy. He's busy. We both, because I know what happens. I go meet him. Next thing you know, 2 hours later, we got 20 minutes of work done, an hour, 40 minutes of just nonsense. So time and efficiency is just imperative. So to create proximity when you're not approximately near them, do your content. Anybody heard of Gary Vee and like him? Feel like you know a little bit about his life, right? He's created proximity by just being the loudest mouth, and he's going to eat the most food. His content's not the most, like, the greatest, right? I mean, it is pretty good. I would call him, like, he'd probably hate this, but I'd call him a modern day Tony Robbins, if you will. Right. But all he's saying is do shit you love, go all out, don't be lazy. So go watch every Gary Vee video, and that'll be kind of the takeaways that you should probably be thinking. So with tools or pricing strategy, like our pricing strategy is so simple. It's probably the most common price that's even out there, $297 a month. Three things we sell is missed call text backs, database reactivations, and then online reputation and reviews. Those are the three things. If we have the bumps, the stack-ons, bolt-ons, then we have the chat widget, so that they can monetize the traffic. It's kind of like that old school shop. I don't know if they're still in business anymore, but Abercrombie and Fitch, like when you walked in, there was always somebody up there, like no matter what, welcome you in the store, standing outside, blah, blah, blah. Same thing at a restaurant, the receptionist, whatever restaurant person, the hostess, they're sitting up front. Now they welcome you in the shop. That's what the chat widget's going to do. Because we get leads from our chat widget on our website all the time, of leads we probably never would have got, because they don't want to fill in a form. They don't want to call us. They don't want to book a call. But then when they have that chat widget, we're getting all that information anyways, right? We're just giving them another outlet to have a lead. And when we look at a lead, we're looking at everything for our clients, for ourselves, for anything we do. Is lifetime value of a customer is one thing. If that lead is worth $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 over the lifespan of working with us, it's imperative for us to have those mousetraps to be able to make it welcoming and convenient for the client to communicate with us. And we explain that to our clients, how important each little inch of margin is. Like, we want to close any leaky bucket we possibly can. And if there's a website without a chat widget, you have an open flood. 98% of people do not inquire on their very first visit to a website. That leaves you with 2%. Now, what if you can increase that by giving people the thing they want the most, convenience? How do I communicate? Just through text messaging. That's what people want more and more and more today, in my opinion. And it allows us to communicate. Like Ahmad books more appointments for our company by text message than any other format that we have. So that's important that you can offer to your clients as well. Now, in terms of like tools, now the easiest way to do it is demonstrating stuff. The hardest way to do it is using words without a demo. Now, and I don't mean a long PowerPoint or whatnot. Like right now, I'm not even using a PowerPoint. I have a PowerPoint, but I don't like using it just for the sheer fact is that I feel like it's kind of boring. It'll put people to sleep a little bit. So I use this. Where is it? So I just have a simple landing page, the simplest landing page possible. And it was built a long time ago. It's not built brand new, and we don't really need to update it very much. And tell me when you see my screen, if you see the Fallout Monster website, you guys see it okay? Okay. Sorry, I have too many monitors going on. Okay. So all I do is click this little sucker. Now, this is whether I'm doing it on a webinar or if I'm doing it in any format. Hold on one sec. I got to stop the share. The screen is all weirded out on my multiple monitors here. Sorry, guys. Figure out how the heck to lower this. All right. Well, I'll just have it's like stuck in between two of my monitors, which is weird. I can't drag it. But anyways, as long as you guys can see it, that's more important. I'll be able to figure it out. Okay. So are you guys seeing the Fallout Monster again?
It's kind of cut off center.
Oh, it is? Okay. So it's cut off for you guys too. Fuck. Hold on one sec. Let me just see how I can. Let me just pull it up in a different browser. That'd be easier. All right. Is this better? You guys can see it? Okay, cool. Got thumbs up, done. Okay. So all I do is this, like we have our login access here just for people who, so to avoid any support. And then all we have is a demo. So there's really nothing more on this website other than a short little video of the coolness of it and stuff that's on it. We have a demo video here that's pretty badass. I use this, I save it on my phone. I show people, etc. I just use any tool I have at my disposal whenever I'm out and about. I save everything, bookmark everything on my phone. All they have to do is fill this sucker out, hit let's go. And then now I have a short little video. If I'm not with them and they're doing this on their own time through cold messaging or whatever it may be, they'll see a little video here that's explaining what's about to happen. We have the other demo video right here, etc. So now that's it. It's just these 2 pages, or 3 pages. You have the presentation page, so you have a talking point, the demo page, which is the most important part so they can experience it, and then which is like the little thank you page. Now my phone's starting to ring already. So I'm already getting messages from my own demo right now. I have a missed call, which is my voicemail drop. I have a text message that explains what I just got. Then I just got an email right now from myself as well. So I'm kind of showing them the demo. I'm giving them the interactiveness that they could be having if they had this. Sorry, now I'm gonna get 5 calls on here. So if you hear my phone ring, it's just me calling me. But that's how this thing works. It's just literally, I can be at a restaurant. I can have the owner. I can say something really simple, saying, "Hey, like, have you ever considered like texting everybody that comes in here next time there's a Laker game on, and just have a little promo and pack the fucking house, get some real-time revenue going. And then we're like, what do you mean? How do you do it? Blah, blah, blah. My POS, this, that, the other. Now I've already got a hook like of how I can get them intrigued. And I'll say like, well, like, what's the best day that you'd like to pack? Like, is it a Thursday? Is it a Tuesday? Is it a Wednesday? Is it the day of the game? So now we can just identify like what would be the best opportunity. So I'm like, hey, what if we could get about like 20, 30 people coming through the restaurant? We just have to give them a badass offer. Right. So if we give them a badass offer, like a free beer or an appetizer during the Laker game, or wear your Laker jersey or whatever it may be, whatever that little hook, catch, and funness is of that location, we bring in, we email, we text message, we voice drop. We can do a combination of three, pick one of those tools. Doesn't really matter. But if we can bring in 20, 30 people, the lifetime value of a customer just significantly increased. And considering we're about to watch a 3-hour freaking game for the promotion, how many beers do you think you can sell each person? 3, 5? When people drink beer, they're going to eat food too, right? So now we have just this mathematics that just makes sense to boost that person's revenue. So that's why it's real-time revenue. For $297 a month, we can make this all happen. The great part is we don't have to keep it for just once a month. We can do it multiple times. We could do it 4 times a month, every single week, give them a promo. And if we bring in 20, 30 additional people, easy peasy in terms of how to make revenue, easy peasy. And now they fill this thing in, and then they see it. Their phone blows up, sitting with them. I'm on the phone with them, on the Zoom with them, whatever. They're experiencing it live. And now they can actually feel it, touch it, and now they are believing it. Because it's too easy to say, hey, missed call text backs. It's easy to do it like in words and explain it very articulately. Not hard to do, but it's hard to get somebody to understand it fully until they actually see it on their phone. Like, I already have four phone calls while I've been talking to you guys, and 3 text messages right now. So it's going to send 5, 5, and 5. 5 texts, 5 emails, 5 voicemails. So it's a simulated, accelerated version of what they could be having, considering that they're not accustomed to being salespeople. They're not accustomed to being marketing people. Like, every business owner, whether they like this or not, their product and service doesn't really matter if they can't get butts in seats or people buying their shit. That's really doesn't matter. You can be the greatest gift and go out of business. This helps save a little bit of their business, or at least all that time, energy, and money that they put into having signage, painting, good furniture, chef, food, staff, training, alcohol. All of that stuff is for nothing if they can't get people inside that door. That's why this is so important. This tool becomes that important for these people. And that's why demonstrating it and showing it and having something where that it's tangible to them allows them to make decisions safer, faster, and they can see the gap of what they're missing already, right? They don't get that 4-pack that we talked about. They don't get to save time, save money, make time, make money. Because there's rarely a restaurant owner that you guys will go eat at in the next 1 year or ever that's not hurting for clients. In fact, 9 out of 10 places you're going to eat, they're fucking hurting. But they're smiling though, right? Because they have to. Same thing with the realtors. Pick any industry, 9 out of 10. Right? So there's so much opportunity. And Jen, you raise your hand. What's up?
Yeah. So last night, this guy who I've been working with, he's my newest client. I took him through the demo so I could be on the phone with him. He must have hit the button somehow twice because he doubled up. He had 10 of everything. He's like, this won't stop. It was really funny. And one of my voicemails hadn't updated. So there's one of your voice instead of mine, which I found out while he was playing it. He played it. I'm like, hey, there's Rahul. So it was really cool. But I also took my version of what you've created, and I used Chat GPT to translate it. So it's in Spanish. And then I used 11 Labs and the script that I just copied down what you said. I was like, Master's got it. I don't need to change it. And had my voice demos in 11 Labs. So now the script and my voice, after the translation into Spanish, just boom, I have the whole entire thing. I did it in just like a couple hours one evening, everything in Spanish. And it's really, really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so awesome. And like think about like that's a whole new market that you can hit is the Spanish market too. That's a
Mhm.
niche of its own. Like one of my friends, he does credit card processing only for the Spanish market, even though he speaks perfect English. It's just that he's just carved his niche out. It just doesn't make any sense for him to talk to like any other culture because he's Mexican himself. But then now like another angle for prospecting for you guys is like knowing that this guy works with local businesses, works with Spanish speaking people. What do you think my angle would be, like approaching him with this offer? Anybody know? Just drop it in the chat. What you would do, knowing that, hey, one of your contacts, connections in your network has about, I don't know, let's say 85, 90 clients and accounts already. And in credit card processing as a salesperson, it's a race to zero. Who can get the lowest rate, who can give them the best equipment, etc. So he makes his money off every swipe. He gets a tiny, tiny fraction of. Like, let's just say anywhere between $25 to, I don't know, if there's a 50,000 or more account, which are very rare, or is maybe like $125 a month. It's a residual income stream. So every month he can presumably rely on that income, assuming somebody who also speaks Spanish doesn't try to swipe the account, because that's what people are doing, right? You want to take away, you want to, like with us, we can save you money on your softwares if you need to get rid of Kajabi or whatever it is you're using, Calendly's and all these extra software stacks, MailChimp, Constant Contact, Active Campaign. You can consolidate it. So that's where the saving money part comes in. It's consolidation. So the angle is, if somebody has access to businesses that you want to do business with, what if you started a joint venture, had a conversation and demoed it with that kind of person? Think about the income stream that they can now have on two sides. Number one is, hey, like my offer to him was 50-50. I'm like, dude, you do all the fucking hard work. I'll do the easiest part and just push like a couple buttons and their shit's all set up. You can have half of it. I don't care. Totally fine with me. That's so reasonable. But I had to motivate somebody to say, like, dude, okay, like let's just do the math. Like, let's just say you have 90 people, and let's just say 30 come on board. 30 times 150 is an extra $4,500 in residual income per month, and you do nothing. Just get them to say yes. And guess what happens to your residual income that I'm not even a party to? That goes up because we're going to drive more clients back in. So that number I can't really calculate. That could be another $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month. All right. So those are the conversations that can be had when you find those types of opportunities. It's just a little bit of creative thinking and not being afraid to get people paid well enough so they can make the money they should make, because it's going to be hard to say, hey, sell GHL, get 10%. Like if they're a commission only person, that's not going to work. And that's where I make I don't know if this is going to sound inappropriate or not. Hopefully it doesn't, but that's how I make other people my sales reps. That's when I do my strategic partnerships and I have the video inside the group for everybody to watch. It's taking my competition and making them my allies, and we both win. So those are other ways you can have a strategic partnership, but you have to know the product really, really, really well. You have to be able to articulate it. You have to give them the confidence that they can believe in it. They can demo it. You might even have to duplicate a landing page for them so they can have their own. And those are all easy things to do because there's a duplicate button. Yeah. And heck, like if they want to use it for themselves, charge them for it. So there's so much just opportunity. It's just picking a lane that you really, really want to be good at first. And then you can expand those lanes. For me, it started off cold calling because I was forced to. I was lucky enough to be forced to do the worst thing in the world, or at least at the time, it was fucking uncomfortable. But then that uncomfortable stuff started to become fun. Then it started to become normal. Then it became habit. Then it became like, are you out of your mind? Why wouldn't you cold call? Right. So it's just a change in belief. So anybody can do it. You can be an introvert, extrovert, but it's just one person, right? Just one persona. You just got to do it and pick a different lane. If you hate fucking cold calling, you're never going to fall in love with it, or you don't have the discipline. I had 120 salespeople around me all slamming the phones. So the energy was high. It inspired action. Like going to the gym by yourself with nobody in there, you have to motivate yourself. But when you see like some 65, 75-year-old fucking woman or man that's way out of shape, sweating their asses off, and then you see like 20-year-olds just crushing it, and you see everybody just trying and trying, it uplifts you. You're like, I can do that. If they're, that ain't so bad. Because I just went to the gym this morning and there was a bunch of older people, and I was like, I was hurt, and I was like, fuck, this is way too hard. I kind of want to like chill. But then the dude next to me was just, I'm like, dude, he's like almost 70. This fucker's pushing it. So it motivated me. So I got a harder work at it. Same thing with with your skill sets. Like pick a lane that you can get uncomfortable enough to do consistently, and you'll have enough opportunities. That's really what it comes down to, is just not having enough conversations. The product is so easy to present. Do you guys agree that it's pretty easy to present those three things? Like even if you don't do a very, very great job, you only get better the more you talk about it. But then number two is like, think about like, if you can open the gap is simply like, how much money are you, do you think you could be losing by not having this solved for right now? And then if you had this a year ago, how much more money you would have. And sometimes it's just one thing. Like I have that call, like I have to just listen to it again and just find the chop out areas that I want to share and delete the stuff that is just more personalized. But this call right here, if you guys want it, just on the live stream, just type in GHL pitch, and I'll share this call, and you'll see it's super duper simple. I lead in with one of the features, make it into like a benefit with a curious question, get some engagement, find the lifetime value of a customer. And then I start to lean into the other two once I feel I'm happy. If the first one doesn't hit the nail on the head, I have to move on to the second feature. So sometimes I'm going to start off with missed call text backs as the opener, or I'm going to start off with database reactivations. The only way I'd start off with online reputation is if there's a signal that tells me something about it. Like if they have a lot of reviews and a lot of bad ones, I might use that. If they have barely any reviews and they've been around for longer than their competition's just beating them to the review game, then I might bring it up then. And the way I'd bring it up is, hey, like there's this, have you guys ever heard of Nona's Kitchen? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, they're really new, right? They're pretty, I see them all over when I go on Google and Yelp and stuff. I'm like, just out of curiosity, have you been open longer than them? Even though I know the answer. Right. So that's how I can start that conversation about going into reviews. But those are the easiest three things that you can sell. You can sell, like, I know that there's like getting 100 clients in a year is an admirable goal. I think it's totally achievable for each and every one of you guys. Because if we like if we look at, let's just say you worked for, I don't know, a company right now, like the post office. I don't know why I came up with that. Post office is for this example. You would have 2,080 hours that you'd have to work a year. No, that's, if I divided that by 100, and this is a W-2 employee, entrepreneurs are going to be thinking while they're sleeping. But if we're really, really focused and we put ourselves in a position where we're accountable to somebody, accountable to your children, accountable to your father, accountable to your mother, accountable to something, where you can have that sense of like, I got to get shit done hour by hour. Because imagine if like you're doing your own thing as an entrepreneur. You're not doing money making activities. You're dicking off. Now, if you're an employee at an employer's company, they'd probably give you a warning. And if you did it again and it persists and you're doing shit you shouldn't be doing, they'll be like, look, there is no second warning. What's the fucking point? I'm paying you to do your own fucking social media posts. No, it's not going to happen. I'm paying you to text your buddies. Not going to happen. So if you can kind of frame yourself where you have that discipline, even if it's only for 4 hours a day, that pure focus, that like just put the ADD or ADHD, whatever D's there are and letters there are, to the side for 4 fucking hours, because we all got it, right? So that's no longer an excuse. It's like, how are you going to focus? If we put that aside for just for 20 hours a day and only focused on just 4, accomplish a hell of a lot more. So let me go back to the math. I was talking about journey to 100, and I want to help you guys with this journey to 100, because I don't think it's unreasonable for anybody, even brand new people. I really don't. But that if we go back to the math, 2,080 hours, which is a W-2, like whatever, working 8 hours a day, vacation time, etc. That's every 20.8 hours, you'd have to get one client. Now, let's divide that number by, let's see, 20.8 hours. You have to get one client. What was I going to divide it by? Let's just say we're working 8-hour days. Every 2.6 days, just one person. So now we have to have enough activity, like content on your profile every day. When you have nothing to say something you said a week before. Get creative. Go to ChatGPT and rewrite your shit. Anything that trended, anybody else that wrote content in any group, make it your own story. Talk about a client that you got a small win for. Talk about anything. It's so easy to do. Now, has anybody got a text message from anybody that owns a business recently that's not a marketing agency? Like your favorite restaurant, you got one? Is it your client, Don?
Nope, it's Famous Dave's. They remind me once a week about something they got going.
Okay, Famous Dave's Corporation. Okay, so now every restaurant can have the marketing like magnitude of a Famous Dave's without having to pay what Famous Dave's pays for, right?
They're the only ones that do it.
Yeah, I only get one, which is so bizarre. I didn't even sign up for it. It's a Greek place, and I did go there because I got like on the 9th text or 8th text, something where it was a lot, because I ended up counting it. I finally went in for $2 off. It's not even that much, right? But I still went in because I'm like, fuck, I'm hungry. Don't want to eat healthy today. Let's just do some Greek shit. And it was just timely, right? Every week I get a text message from them still. Myth Point Greek. Proud of them. But that's it. Like, that's the only person that's ever texted me. But I promise you, if like other people text me, because I'm going to be hungry around 11 o'clock and probably thinking about food around 5 o'clock. So, I mean, those are good times to start texting people, is right when they're about to make that decision to go eat. Right? Like even dentists, like if we go into a different category where it's not as common, like we don't go to the dentist every day, like we have to eat or drink every single day, right? Or hydrate. So like a dentist, I was watching the news the other day, and I never even thought about this angle about like, if you don't take care of your teeth and your gums get some sort of disease, it can go into other areas of your body that has nothing to do with dentistry. I didn't even know that. Like, no fucking dentist ever even said a goddamn thing to me about that. I'm like, what are you fucking thinking? Like, that's how important it is to get people to come twice a year to you. I'll bet you there's more people than not don't go twice a year to get their x-ray and their cleaning. And if they can show how they can save people a money by avoiding the dentist chair by just spending that few $100s a year on twice a year visits, they can probably prevent a lot of cavities, prevent a lot of root canals. Right. So there's so many different industries and niches that's why I said, like, with knowing the niche, you can be more impactful to them, because I wouldn't want communication from a dentist every week. Personally, don't give a fuck. But I would from a restaurant. I would from a bar. I would from sporting events. Maybe even networking events, right? So I can go meet some more people. But there's so many different industries that could be monetized so simply by just them spending $297. Because when I go back to lifetime value of a customer, I keep saying that you have to know the lifetime value of the customer. Like any industry, let's just go to restaurants. Let's just say a person goes in once a month, their average ticket's $22. I times that by 12. They go in twice a month, $12 times 2 equals 24 times 12. That's $288 a year from one customer. Now, if I'm selling them a $297 thing, $3,600 per year is what it's going to cost them. If I can now demonstrate the math, how I can take their existing customers to come back, but then attract those new leads that come in through the website to be catering customers, and show them math behind it, not just the emotion, not just the logic, just what they could be missing out on why after hours missed call text backs, after hours communications are absolutely imperative, or busy season. Like I've called restaurants, they don't answer. I know they're open. Then I go to the next restaurant. Then I go to the next one, the next one, the next one, right? But if I have that communication, that's where you can make the math make sense to them. And $288 is just one person. A restaurant should have high traffic. If it's a restaurant with a bar, 70% of the revenue should be coming from the bar. 30% should be coming from food. That's how you can get a second location. If your numbers are not equated to that, you are unattractive. Your business will die with you. No one will buy it. And that just comes from a VC. Because I was sitting in a meeting with them. So anyways, this is where I think you guys can absolutely crush it with just focusing on GHL. Now, the ascension model is different. The ascension model is just foot in the door. Like I'm always foot in the door. And you have sensory acuity on knowing your customer's needs and wants. Because if a customer needs a website, you're not going to try to just foot in the door with these 3 other features. You want to be able to also provide them with their core needs and aspect, because otherwise they're going to go to somebody else. So you have to be smart enough to understand, like, if somebody's coming to you and they have a need and want, or you go to them and you understand that there's something that they need, go with that. And then you can offer that's your foot in the door. And then your upsell becomes the SaaS, because now if you earn a website project, if you have one of our templates, your website's already done and you're just a copy paste person with copy, right? But if you're building it, you probably have about 3 to 5 weeks to build that sucker. Now you have enough of an opportunity to make recommendations and build rapport in your relationship where you can be more to that person, because they're going to buy it from somebody else, or worse, not even get it at all. Because think about, like, have you ever had a client that, like, you've been presenting them stuff and then they're like, I know I need it. I know I want it. And I know I want it with you, but not now. And then you see them post, or you have a conversation in the future with them and they bought some stupid shit that they didn't need. Right. So that's where we can, that's another gap of selling. There's nothing worse in the world than not being able to present this stuff to those types of people, because, like, I've been to restaurants where they paint the walls thinking that's the fucking solution. But the solution is really, they just don't have the 3 most basic things that you guys can automate for them. And it just becomes so much better for them. Okay, so there's a couple things that I offered you guys today. Number one, the GHL call. I saw somebody put it into the chat. Don't put it in this chat here, because once I close this Zoom, I'm not going to read this chat ever again. Do it on the Facebook thread that we're live streaming inside of. So you'll type it in Facebook, not in Zoom. Okay, so GHL pitch. I'll send it over to my editor just to cut it up real quick. I'm not going to make it fancy with subtitles and shit. I just want to cut the little piece where I kind of explain to him the offer of how I would offer it, on how I have the 1, 2, 3 of the 3 features, how I lead, which one I lead with. And you guys can just use it, transcribe it, do whatever you want with it. I would suggest rehearse it as much as humanly possible. There's going to be all kinds of features that GHL is going to come up with. They're going to go so fast that you're not going to be able to feel like you can catch up. Have no worries on those. They're probably not going to work very well upon initial launch anyways. They'll improve probably in like a month or two. Typically the software companies pre-launch stuff. You guys beta test it, complain about it, they fix it. That's typically how every software company works. Even realtor.com, we'd launch a new product. Once you started getting smart enough of working there long enough, you just didn't sell it for like 2 or 3 months because you're going to get fucking clawbacks and chargebacks and shit because it just never fucking worked properly. It was just pumping revenue. Typically when you're patient, you let the product stabilize, then it has mad value. Communities is going to be dope, but some of you guys just don't need it. And if you can't sell it, don't use it. Just focus on the simple stuff, right? Like people who ever made toothpicks, I mean, fuck, they kept it pretty simple because I still buy toothpicks, right? So they probably didn't innovate too much. So maybe made it a little bit smoother, right? So you don't have to over innovate initially. First is get the cash flow up where you're comfortable, stay focused on the sale. These 3 features, in my opinion, are really easy broadly because 9 out of 10 people are going to need it. And then if you have a different model, use whatever your intuition is. I mean, because when I say foot in the door, I'm giving you what I think is the best foot in the door. Now, when I'm in the live conversation with a client, I might have to pivot after I get a little bit of discovery information and saying, this dude's got a problem because he's doing a lot of content, but doesn't know how to fucking post this shit. My foot in the door might open the gap of what that feels like, having all that content, having nobody watch it, having nobody see it, putting all that energy and effort in it, watching the competition rise up while they just do nothing. How much stress must they feel thinking that people below them are doing better than them? Then I'm leaning into social planning. And then my ascension model is, how do I do your video editing and your graphics for your social posts? So I'm kind of listening to where the pain is, and then I solve it. Especially when I know the gap, when I know the feeling, the impact of doing it the way they're doing it, and also the impact of had they had this a year ago, where would they imagine themselves are today? And then the impact of if another year goes by and nothing gets solved for and it doesn't get off the ground, then what? So we can kind of play around with what they're missing out on, and that's how people will make a little bit of a quicker decision. Okay, that's it, folks, for today. How'd you guys feel about today's Savage Saturday? Good. I want you guys to go out and do something about it, though, because that's the most important part, is doing something about it. Because I can talk like a filibuster all day on this shit. Super easy, because it doesn't take more than, like, you guys are all capable. You guys have run a business long enough. You guys have talked to people and humans long enough. You've talked to strangers, whether you're ordering coffee or ordering a meal at a restaurant. So if that's not uncomfortable to talk to in those contexts, now just kind of frame yourself that you're in that same type of conversation.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it, Amir.
Yeah, so okay. With this new regulation that we're supposed to sign up regarding text messages, they just activated it on the back end of the GHL for all the text messages and the Lead Connect, and we're supposed to register the businesses for the compliance sake, I guess. And in there, I see that they require that in order for us to be able to send text messages, I think we're supposed to get the very first text message, them asking to subscribe or letter start, in order to be able to do that. Is that like an absolute necessity? Or
yeah, you're gonna want to watch the town hall and go in the GHL group and just go into that I forget the acronym, 2FAC or whatever the heck it is. Just go in the group and you'll see plenty of content that'll already walk you through, or just a YouTube search. There's so many people that have already kind of explained how to do it, why to do it, why it's necessary. It's just a rule. Otherwise we won't be able to text message our clients. Yeah, I won't know any tech support questions as far as that's concerned. What you'll want to lean on me for is presenting the marketing and the sales, because I'm all about like building a value, authority, and selling. And then any kind of tech support questions, I would just
Right.
say go to
Fun-
the people who
If,
built it.
right. I was just wondering, like, if you guys had to implement the same thing for your
Oh yeah,
agency.
yeah,
And,
yeah. We did. I don't. That's not my part of the ball game. That's Cody's part. He deals with my problems that I cause, or the
Okay,
problems of the world.
all right. So I'll find that information inside the group you said, or the
Yeah,
Facebook group.
go in the Go High Level community. You'll find the most amount of consolidated group crowdsourced information there.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you got it. Cool. All right. So anyways, if anybody does need any help, like just you guys are welcome to, like, don't abuse this but if you want to book a call with me personally, I'll just go over your KPIs. For new people, anybody who's already in the GSD, you got me in the regular group. But anybody new that's not in GSD, that's Diamond Club or below, that's here for free, whatever, just hop on. I'm not going to sell you our GSD. If you want to join, you already know what we do, or if you don't know, you can ask me questions. I can give you as much information. But if you need help with like KPIs, your market strategy, where to get leads, we'll spend 20 minutes and just record it, and then it's your copy. So I'll do that with 5 people. So if you want to book, that's the link. Just book a call. It's if you're watching this on the live stream on Facebook, if I haven't had 5 people already book for it, just comment, call me, #call me, and I'll send you my Calendly link, and then you can book it, and we'll just spend 20 minutes, and then your responsibility will be to record it. And then you can use it however you wish, but as long as it's in good taste. Okay. All right. And then demos. I'll send out demos if you guys want. Like, I mean, we sell the follow-up monster. A bunch of you guys have already bought it. If you guys do want it, just let me know. Because it's under, like, it's like 300 some odd dollars for our demo. I'll do a video that's short, sweet, so you can see what it is. I'll pop it into the group and send it to you guys if you want it. But our demo is just, that's how I've been selling this GHL stuff to everybody. And it turns into bigger projects a lot of the time. Less than half the time it turns into bigger projects, but that's still a lot. Because like even our resident GHL coach, probably one of the best GHL builders out there, is Adam McInnes. I'll probably talk about him a lot because he's a coach inside the GSD, but like that's how he actually came into our group in the first place and bought into our GSD program, because like, holy fuck, how the heck did you do that? And then he was a marketer looking for coaching. It had nothing to do with software, but that was the angle on the hook. They're like, oh shit, if these guys know that, they're going to know a lot more. Right. So we automated a lot. And then same thing with our clients, our done for you clients. We include this. They pay us anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000 a month. We automate their business. We make them sticky on the platform, show them the pipeline, the automation, the call bookings. They get a triage call calendar. They get a sales call calendar. They get a follow-up call calendar. So we kind of show them around the whole ecosystem of, we're not marketers anymore. Yes, we are part marketers. We're part sales strategists, but we're mainly business strategists where we never leak another fucking lead. Because oftentimes the people who join us, they're just one customer away from breaking even. They're 2 customers away from doubling their income. But forget the ROI standpoint. Think about the repeatability and the compound effect. If you kind of put money in today, in like 6 months, 12 months, 24, 36 months, how much that can compound in interest based on your growth as a person. That's the most important part of how we kind of explain how this works. And if like you look at a Tony Robbins video on compound, you'll just be like mesmerized about how much money it could be leaving on the table. It's just amazing. I love watching his compound video. I've watched it over and over and over again. In terms of what is it? If you went and played golf and you bet $1 on hole number 1, doubled it every other hole, Think about how much money is at the end. Now, when you compare that back into your business, watch that video. Fucking brilliant. Just type in Tony Robbins golf compounding and you'll find it. It'll change the way you think about your business, of how you either invest in it, how you utilize your time, etc. Cool. All right, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Happy Saturday. Enjoy yourselves. And go take some of this action. Okay. And if you want the pitch, just drop it in the Facebook group, GHL pitch. If you want to call, use that link. If you're in Facebook land, thanks for being on here. Comment some stuff, some takeaways. And if you want to call with me, just type in #call me and I'll send you my link. All right. Bye, guys.